that moment for me is actually fighting myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's me, because nobody's going to keep me from the blessings that God has for me but me. So it's just like when you want to be successful and you know you're going to the next level, you see the vision, you know you're going to get there. But, the inner you, like, nah, you're not going to do it. You know.
Now, I already know what you're thinking. Where can I get the merch? I'm glad you asked. You can find it at toostubborntofail.com. That's toostubborntofail.com. All right, now let's get back. Welcome back to the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast. I'm your host, Darren Perkins, and we got some very special news today. Today we got episode 6, which most podcasters don't make it to 6, so that's a pretty big deal. Other than that, we got the class of 2008 in the building. So shout out to y'all.
Absolutely.
So today's guest, we got a mompreneur. She's a lifestyle coach. And she just got a lot of things going on right now. Rhonisha Jenkins. How you doing?
I'm great, awesome, and amazing. I'm getting better and better by the day. I'm moonwalking on water on the top
that.
shelf looking up.
I heard that. So tell the people where you from.
Hey everybody, I'm from Union, South Carolina, small city with 3 red lights, and now I reside in Columbia, South Carolina. Soon to be moving to Charlotte.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So what was life like growing up in Union?
Life growing up in Union was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Easy and that's a good question. Well, for me, it was easy. Mm-hmm. Where I come from, I didn't have to really struggle for anything. Mm-hmm. Pretty much everything was handed to me. My mom didn't have a hard time, and she did the best that she could. Mm-hmm. But when I got to college, I saw that that's a lot more out there.
Right, right. So, was there any representation of entrepreneurship young for you?
Absolutely not. When I was a little girl, I knew that I wanted to do more than what I saw. Mm-hmm. But coming up, nobody around me was business owners. People only worked in industrial plants and stores, but nobody really owned a business or really taught business or taught anything about investing or anything out of the norm. Nobody really talked about it.
Right. So what would you say was your first introduction into entrepreneurship?
My first introduction to entrepreneurship was, I can't even remember what the business is called. I'll talk about my second one.
Okay.
It was actually Roscoe's Grill with my husband. Okay. So when we first started dating, he used to cook a lot. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? Your food is really good. Right. I believe it's good enough to sell. And he started doing it. I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. Right. But it takes the right person to get around you to actually bring it out of you. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened for me.
Okay. So since then, fast forward, you now know about entrepreneurship. What was your next step?
My next step now? Mm-hmm. Well, I've already retired. I'm only 30 years old. I don't work for corporate America anymore. I donated my job back. My next step is to retire my husband. He still works. He works part-time at a shop downtown. He's a cook there. And after that, I'm going to retire my mom. She's a supervisor at Spartanburg Regional. She does phlebotomy. So those are my next 2 steps to retire.
Hold on. We're going to go back. You're not just going to tiptoe past that. First, let's tackle you being able to retire yourself. Let's talk about that. What's that process look like?
So after 16 months of being an entrepreneur, this was during COVID, right? And daycare for my kids shut down. I was having to drive too far to take them to a family member, right, too far to come back, and then too far back to work. Right. I said, Lord, I'm about to quit. Mm-hmm. Work it out for me. And he did. So I went ahead and quit. And I have not missed a beat. It has been amazing. The stress level has been, reduced from my life. Mm-hmm. When I was going to work, y'all, I used to get headaches really bad. I had knots on my neck from being stressed out. But now I'm being able to enjoy it more and show people that, it's not just for me. It's for you too if you want it.
So your time, basically, you were able to, get some of your time back. How important was that for you to be able to get that time back?
That was one of the best things because, as a mom, you're always away from your kids. I kid you not. Sometimes when I got off work, I would think my kids then got a little taller just for me being away so much. Working 8 hours, working 9 hours, working overtime, having to drill on the weekend, and having to send them away for camp because I'm prior military, so we had to be away for 2 and 3 weeks. So it was important for me to get that time back. Now I can wake up in the morning, I can make them pancakes, we can just crash and have our PJs on all day, and I'm still able to work from my phone. So it's been an amazing experience. And even being home, my husband gets off, I get to smile. He comes to the door.
That's what's up. So do you have a plan for how you want to introduce entrepreneurship to your kids?
They already a part of it.
They
are already a part of it. But my plan, this is my plan now.
Right.
Your kids, right? They have other plans. Right. But they don't have to work. They don't have to do anything if they don't want to do it. It's up to them if they want to actually go to school, graduate and go to work. But mom and dad already got it taken care of. They don't have to do it.
That's big. That support system. So that's from a parent standpoint. Speak to what the support system looks like, and how important is it to have a support system from your spouse?
Ooh, y'all, this is deep. That's a good question. So if I did not have the support from my spouse, my husband, Mr. Rhonisha Jenkins, we would not be where we are right now. I would still be working. We would still be lacking in certain areas. But when you get residual income, you don't ever have to worry about, anything lacking.
Right.
But if he wasn't on board, I wouldn't be able to, go city to city, state to state with the business that I do. I wouldn't be able to be on all these calls. I wouldn't be able to be on all these Zooms or just, help the people that's connected to me if my husband wasn't all in. And he's 100% all in.
It's a lot easier to be all in when them checks are rolling in.
Right. And because of that, now he almost make more than I do with business.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. So now that you are basically in a different place in your life, could you speak to the feeling of being around more successful people on a daily basis?
Absolutely. When I grew up, y'all, not knocking anybody, I wasn't around people who thought outside of $50,000 a year, $60,000 a year. And now I'm around people who are making that on a monthly basis, $100,000, $130,000. And they're so open and they're so down to earth to the point where, they sending an elevator back down for us and helping us come up. Right. I'm connected to people who are making 10 times more than I am, but I know I'm next.
Right.
So, you don't have to worry about anybody being jealous or, any hatred or, things that you have to worry about in your family or, when close friendships. So it's different when you're an entrepreneur and you're around people who really want to help you. So it's an amazing feeling. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I just thank God for choosing me because I know I'm chosen.
I noticed two things. When you're around people who are making that kind of money, they're high energy people for one. But the conversation is different.
Absolutely.
You don't hear gossip, like you said. You don't hear hate. You don't feel that negativity because they're in a different place. Mm-hmm. A lot of these people don't even know what day it is. And
I actually posted Happy Tuesday this morning.
a lot. When you get in those rooms, it's just like you said, it's just a whole different feeling. And I can definitely attest to that. So, with all of that being said, I know that you plan on the retirement for the hubby is next. You know what that looks like? What after he's retired? What do you want life to look like?
After my husband retires, life for us will be on his food truck a couple days out of the week, and this is temporary. Right. He gonna branch out and he gonna scale the business. He gonna have food trucks in different states for people who can't afford to buy one. He's gonna let them run it.
Oh, that's dope.
So and even felons, he's definitely gonna let felons do it. So with the one y'all know, but for life is gonna look like us being able to do what we want to do when we want to do it with who we want to do it with when we want to do it where we want to do it at. Mm-hmm. So. That's how it's gonna be. If it's gonna be in Cancun, Jamaica, might fly to London to get some whatever.
So, are there any? I see you traveling a lot of places. Are there any places that are on, I guess, your radar that you haven't been?
I have Bali on my radar for November, and I want to go to Australia. I hear their food is really, really good.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's not preserved like here. They throw it out after they cook it.
So, as far as I know, we discussed being in a different place in your life. Do you have any, I guess, any plans for passing any of the knowledge back home, or is it anything where you want to anybody that you'd like to bring along for the journey?
Man, I would love to bring people from Union, South Carolina, but they don't see the vision. They don't really see it. I actually have helped two ladies from Union, South Carolina put a legacy in place for their families, but one lady moved to Nashville and the other one lives down here in Columbia, South Carolina. I'm gonna say their name: Kristen McClooney and Miss Regina Fleming.
Shout out to y'all.
Absolutely, they come from Union,
right.
And we all three are trying to help people from that city, think different, think outside the box, and let them know you don't have to work as long as you think. You don't have to make what you're making. It's more out there,
right?
They don't hear us.
What do you think is one of the main, I guess, blocks in between, getting it and not getting it?
Being inside the box and not knowing how to get outside of the box. There are people there who kind of want to do it, but they're around people who don't want to do it, and they're discouraging them, and they're listening to people who can never put them in a better position.
Right.
And I think that's just it. And fear.
Fear is a major. Like, I mean, even though we are at a different place in our life, I mean, we all still have fear about different things. It's just, I guess, the biggest difference might be that we just surpassed that. Like, we know it's there, but it's still some stuff that we gotta. It's gotta work. It's gotta work because we already know the alternative. Those jobs are always gonna be there for you, but opportunity is not. I guess we can speak to, like you said, I'm definitely trying. I don't even know where to start as far as like getting the masses, because what my main goal, not only in life but with this show, is to normalize owning a business. It doesn't necessarily have to be anything that we have going on. Just so long as you get out of a 9-to-5 lifestyle. Nothing wrong with a job, because we all, I mean, it's some of us that still work jobs. It's just that I want there to be another option for you. It's always great to have options, because everybody, some people, money is not a determining factor for them. You may have money and you may just not want to get a brand new car. It's just, but it's nice to have the option.
Right.
So I say that to say that, we're here now. We do have a certain responsibility to, I guess, just let people know that it is something. I mean, other than that, you can't drag people along. If they don't want to come, they don't want to come.
Nope, slow you down.
Could you speak to some of, I guess, the pitfalls that you have seen in business along the way?
Some of the pitfalls that I've seen in business is exactly what you said. Trying to drag people along and trying to help them see the vision. And when you do that, you slow yourself down. It's like you running a race. And if you're running, the people with you, they got to be running with you. But if you're turning around trying to see who's coming, now you're slowing yourself down.
Right.
So if you run, they're going to catch it and run with you. So those are the people that you got to attract. The hungry, driven, people who want more out of life.
And right now, you would say, out of the two people that stick out of the two that you mentioned, that they're the ones that run with you.
Them the goats.
They the go-getters.
Absolutely. And they come from Union.
Hey, I mean, it's nothing wrong with Union. It's just like you said, you kind of have to distance yourself from the environment. It's not necessarily the people. It's just growing up in that environment, you just have to leave and branch out. It's just like a goldfish. They live in a little bowl for so long. There's only so much that you can do in that bowl.
Absolutely. Now it's a shark.
Okay. And even with sharks, you got to put them in a different tank, or they're not gonna get but so big. So now that we have gotten that out of the way, I guess what I like to wrap up all my interviews with a too stubborn to fail moment. So this is a moment where, no matter like any kind of adversity that you had, it felt like you may not have gotten through it, but somehow you just pushed through. What was that moment for you?
That moment for me is actually fighting myself. It's me, because nobody's going to keep me from the blessings that God has for me but me. So it's just like when you want to be successful and you know you're going to the next level, you see the vision, you know you're going to get there, but the inner you like, nah, you're not going to do it. You know, so I have to fight against that. And by doing that, you have to read books, you got to stay in your Bible, and you got to pray. So that's it for me.
Amen. So the other thing that I like to leave people with, what would be some tips for people who want to get out of that environment? They don't really know how, but they know that this ain't that. What their current position is not where they want to be. What are some tips that you have for somebody in that position?
Well, some small tips. You can always go on Eventbrite and see what type of conferences and what type of meetings are held in your area. And it's a lot of business type networking events in Atlanta, Georgia. So I would say start there, going to meet people. And when you see somebody you want to be like, and you see they're saying, hey, come along, find out where they're going to be and keep going to that place. And when they see you, they're going to attach to you and they're going to help you. But it's just important to get around people who will actually help you that are already successful. So make sure that they are actually open to doing that first.
Right. And I'd like to add to that by saying you have to invest in yourself. Start small. I know sometimes that can be very scary to put money aside for something that you don't necessarily see. But like you said, books, seminars, just hit up some people that you admire. It might be somebody that's in your city that's doing something that you want to do. And all you got to do, take them out to lunch. Pick their brain. See what's up. It's funny that a lot of people that are in positions like that are willing to share that information. But you just have to ask. And that would be my main thing, is just investing in yourself. That's actually the most important key that I have today, is just investing in yourself, whatever it is. Find that time, find that money. It doesn't have to be a lot, but once you start growing, you definitely, it becomes easier to invest in yourself. I switched sides on you. Why you ain't go to the site yet? toostubborntofail.com. That's toostubborntofail.com. Go check it out. Where can the people follow you at?
Listen, y'all can follow me on Facebook at Rhonisha Jenkins. Also follow my husband as well, but usually on the next video. Yeah. Also Instagram at Win with Ro, and also on TikTok at Win with Ro. Y'all, I'm a social media influencer. I'm going viral, so y'all follow me.
Y'all heard that. Y'all go follow. I want to mention again that this is episode 6, which is it's monumental for me because most podcasters don't get here. So I'm going to say it as many times as I can. Thank y'all for tuning in. Today's guest was Rhonisha Jenkins, and this is the Too Stubborn to Fail podcast. Peace.